Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. You can't see me right now, but I am behind the screen because today I'm going to be showing you how to make your own quinceañera invitations. I already made a video on Quinceañera Invitations 101 and I talked more about what I did and how to make one, but I never specifically showed you how to make one physically, so that's what I'm going to be doing today. This is my second video as a Quinceañera.com ambassador, so my first one was a do-it-yourself party favor ideas and I'll have it linked down below. And they also just created an app for Quinceañera.com, and that's great because you can find all your quinceañera advice on this app, and right now it's only available on iPhone, but it will definitely be available on Android very soon. I hope you're all doing well, so let's just go ahead and get started. It's very simple. Right now what I'm going to be showing you is a little template of one that I used for my quince because I had a few different types and this is the one that I created. So I went on Google and I searched a gradient background picture and it had to be a good size. And just whichever one you like, save it to your computer. And we're going to be using the editing software called PicMonkey.com. Once I have the picture opened up on PicMonkey, I'm going to be rotating it and then cropping out just a little bit. Again, this is all to your liking, whatever you prefer. So I'm just taking out a little bit of the pink and then hitting the button that says apply. Next, I am moving on to exposure, and this, you can just mess around with the settings and see what colors you like better. Maybe you can make the picture a little bit lighter, a little bit brighter, a little bit more defined, things like that. And again, just find something that you like until you are satisfied with it. Next, I'm moving to the butterfly button and going down to the section that's called corners. The first four are free, and I'm using one of those and applying it to one corner and then clicking on duplicate overlay just to create the same image and the same size, just so you don't have to keep messing with those settings, and rotating it and putting it at the bottom. Okay, it's sort of coming along now, so now we're going to be putting our name, and you can use your first name, and your last name, whichever one works for you. I went with my first name and I made it pretty big. This is the biggest part of the invitation. I wanted it to stand out. And now we are going to be moving to the little phrase. It's, again, all of this is optional. You decide what you want to put on your invitation. This is just my example of one, but you can search on Google different cute little phrases for your quinceañera. And the one that I decided to choose was one that says, dicen que la vida es más bella si podemos cumplir lo que soñamos, y mi sueño es que compartas conmigo la noche de mis 15 años. So that's the one that I went for, and I divided the text in 4 sections. So I made every little section by itself, and then I shrank it, and then adjusted it and placed it on the invitation. Just the thought of you gets me so high, so high. Oh, just the thought of you gets me so high, so high. I'm going to be moving everything a little bit up to add more space for everything else that we're about to put, and don't be afraid to change anything because this is editing and it's not finalized yet. So now we're moving on to adding our parents' names. So I want to start it off by putting junto con mis padres, comma, and then I'm going to be putting this in one specific text. And then the next text, which is my parents' names, I decided to do it in a different text. And you'll see what I'm going to be doing in a second. So the next part is, again, just another little phrase basically saying you're invited. So I went with le hacemos la cordial invitación para que nos acompañen whichever day of your quince it is. So I went with domingo 31 de agosto. And I used the same text that I used with the junto con mis padres. And then the place of the quinceañera, I used the same text that I used for the name of my parents. So you want a little bit of variation, but you also want to keep it organized. So I kind of went from one text to another, the same text to like, you know what I mean? I hope you can see the little pattern that I'm going for, sort of like 1, 2, 1, 2. And for the address of the location of your quince, I'm also using the same text as the other ones, but putting it a little bit bigger because it is such important information. And I also made the Palace of Dreams location also a lot bigger because it is important. And then lastly, I am adding the timings. So you want to add the timings of your quince. I'm putting in the time for the cena, the time for the presentación, and the time for the baile. And you are almost done. Now you can add small little details. You can play around with whatever else PicMonkey has to offer. I'm adding a little heart, making it black, and then shrinking it and putting it above the eye. Just a small cute little touch like that. And then lastly, I'm going to the sparkle stars effects and adding a little tiny star thing where it says palace. And then you can save your invitation and you are done. Now you're ready to print it off, and you can test out different types of paper. Maybe you try using photograph paper or cardstock paper. And then where there's a little space between the phrase and junto con mis padres, you can add some ribbon or some glitter or sparkle ribbon or even a little bow, just something that adds that final touch. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. It's very simple, it can save you a lot of money, and you can customize it to what you like. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Have a great rest of the day, and I will talk to you guys really soon. Bye! Come close.